I have been playing computer games all of my life. I'm 51 years old now, and I have been playing computer games since at least the 4th grade, if not before. My dad bought a computer, an Apple II, when I was in 4th grade, and I know I started playing computer games then, and I'm pretty sure I was playing them even before that. In recent years, I have played a lot of a game called Hearthstone. Hearthstone is a digital card game that has all sorts of different play modes. Last November, they released a new play mode called Battlegrounds. And Battlegrounds actually keeps stats for you, which is a good thing and a bad thing. In this case, I can look and see that since Battlegrounds was released in Hearthstone last November, I have played 620 hours. That number is kind of scary. If you do the math, that means I've played over 2 hours a day of Battlegrounds since that mode came out in Hearthstone. And that doesn't even include the other Hearthstone modes. I've been having to ask myself lately, is Hearthstone a net positive in my life or is it a net negative? I mean, on the plus side, I really enjoy Hearthstone. It's fun. It's a good time. Plus, it's a way to engage my mind. It helps me with strategic thinking and analytical thinking. On the downside, Hearthstone costs money. There are better things that I could be doing with my time. And most of all, I feel kind of bad when I'm done playing Hearthstone. After spending a couple of hours playing it every day, I feel bad. To me, that's a sign that Hearthstone is a net negative in my life. I have been trying to reduce a lot of the net negatives in my life recently, not just Hearthstone. When I look at some of my behaviors and some of the things I have in my life, I realize they bring me down. Reddit is another example. I do enjoy browsing Reddit. I get some useful information off there. But I tend to find that after spending a half an hour or an hour wading through Reddit, I feel worse about myself and about the world in general instead of feeling positive. The same is true with Facebook. I feel like Facebook is probably a net negative in my life. So are Hostess Snowballs. I love Hostess Snowballs, but aside from the taste, there's not much positive about a Hostess Snowball. Sometimes net negatives are obvious. Credit card debt, for example, is pretty clearly a net negative in anybody's life. Another example is the news media. I strongly believe that paying too close attention to the news is a negative thing. It harms you more than it helps you. Another example would be alcohol. There are some advantages to alcohol, there's no doubt, but I think overall it's a net negative for most people, including me. The fundamental question you have to ask yourself when you evaluate any habit or experience or thing that you own is, how does this make me feel? Does it make me feel good about myself and about life in general, or does it make me feel bad? And if it makes you feel bad, I think that's an indication that the habit or behavior or experience or item is a net negative, and you should consider removing it from your life. Sometimes though, these net negatives, they're a little less obvious, or maybe they're mixed with some positive things, and so it becomes tough to evaluate them. Take, for example, a car loan. Is a car loan good, or is a car loan bad? Well, I think it depends, right? And is there anything really wrong with a glass of wine over a nice dinner with your spouse? I don't think there really is. The problem becomes when that glass of wine is something that you're having every day or several times a day, and it becomes a crutch. It becomes a detriment to what you want to get done in life. It becomes a net negative. So my goal the last few weeks and going forward is to remove the obvious net negatives in my life and to emphasize the obvious net positives. Because some things are clearly good. Reading books, that's a good thing. Exercising, that's a good thing. Spending time with friends and family, also good. Listening to the music of Taylor Swift, excellent. What about Hearthstone? Well, Hearthstone is not clearly a net positive and is probably a net negative. So the question becomes, how do I find a balance? Is there a place in my life for Hearthstone? I don't know the answer yet, but I do know this. It's pretty clear that playing 2.5 hours of Hearthstone every day, that is a net negative.